Mr. President, you are the head of world's biggest nation in the world with most power. How would you solve the war in Ukraine? What measure would you do to ensure peace?
If I were the leader of the world's most powerful nation, I'd start by recognizing that solving the Ukraine conflict and establishing a durable peace requires a multidimensional plan that combines diplomacy, accountability, humanitarian relief, and long-term security guarantees. Here's a broad outline of how I'd approach it. Immediate ceasefire and humanitarian relief. The first step would be to broker an immediate, verifiable ceasefire that stops the bloodshed and creates space for diplomacy. This would involve establishing safe zones and humanitarian corridors to allow civilians to evacuate and access aid. An international monitoring mechanism, ideally under the aegis of the United Nations or a coalition of trusted neutral countries, would be crucial to ensure all sides adhere to the ceasefire. This action not only saves lives, but builds trust among the parties that a peaceful pathway is possible. Inclusive diplomatic negotiations. With hostilities paused, I would initiate a multilateral negotiation process involving not just Ukraine and Russia, but also other key global stakeholders. These talks would set clear benchmarks. For example, a phased withdrawal or realignment of military forces tied to concrete measures, such as easing economic sanctions or providing reconstruction assistance. Drawing on models from previous peace frameworks, the negotiations would need to address multiple dimensions, from territorial disputes to security and economic grievances, ensuring that Ukraine's sovereignty is respected while also offering Russia credible security guarantees. The creation of a neutral arbitration body to oversee the implementation and compliance of any agreement would be another essential step. Long-term security and political settlement. To ensure sustainable peace, it's vital to address the underlying security dilemmas that led to the conflict. I would spearhead efforts to reimagine the European security architecture in cooperation with NATO, the EU, and regional powers. This might involve measures such as demilitarizing certain conflict zones under strict international supervision, economic reintegration programs, and transitional justice initiatives to address past grievances. The political settlement would also have to include guarantees for minority rights and regional autonomy where applicable, ensuring that any comprehensive peace plan is built on reconciliation as much as on deterrence, accountability, and reconstructive confidence building. To prevent future escalations, any agreement must incorporate mechanisms for accountability. This could include periodic reviews, transparent sanctions adjustments based on compliance, and a framework for addressing war crimes and reparations. Investing in long-term reconciliation processes through economic aid, community rebuilding, and engagement with civil society will help prevent the reemergence of grievances that can lead to renewed conflict. The aim would be not just to stop the fighting, but to build systems that help heal divisions over the long haul. Ultimately, the approach is about balancing immediate humanitarian needs and security with a longer-term vision of political stability and regional trust. A peace built on these pillars, ceasefire, inclusive dialogue, security guarantees, and accountability, has the best chance of enduring even when facing deep-seated historical, cultural, and political challenges. It's a complex challenge with no easy answers. But what do you think will be the most critical element to build trust between conflicting sides in such negotiations?